Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Donald Trump confirms Khamenei is dead after Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu claims there are signs that Khamenei is no longer alive. Israeli officials say body has been found. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar speaks to Iranian and Israeli counterparts, urges de-escalation. India issues advisories for Indian nationals in conflict zone to remain vigilant. UN Security Council holds emergency meeting on Iran. Europe expresses concern over West Asia escalation. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Micron Technologies' semiconductor facility at Sanand in Gujarat, says it has potential to strengthen India's role in global value chain. First up, a big development coming from West Asia. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that there were many signs suggesting that Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei may have been killed in the Israeli-US strikes in Iran. Netanyahu also said Khamenei's compound had been destroyed and the Islamic Revolutionary Guard commanders and senior nuclear officials had been destroyed.
This morning, a powerful strike was launched and destroyed in the heart of Tehran, the compound of the tyrant Khamenei. And there are many signs that this tyrant is also no longer. This morning, we eliminated senior officials in the Ayatollah's regime, Revolutionary Guards commanders, senior figures in the nuclear program, and we will continue. In the next few days, we will hit thousands more targets of the terror regime.
According to news agency Reuters, Khamenei's body has been found. Iran called the strikes unprovoked and illegal. Tehran responded with missiles fired at Israel and at least 7 other countries, including Gulf states that host U.S. bases. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called on the Iranian people to take to the streets and overthrow the regime.
We will create the conditions for the brave Iranian people to free themselves from the chains of tyranny. Therefore, I again turn to you, citizens of Iran. Do not miss the opportunity. This is a once-in-a-generation opportunity. Do not sit idly by, because soon your moment will come, the moment when you will be required to go out to the streets in your masses, to go out to the streets to complete the task and overthrow the regime of horrors that is embittering your lives.
A statement was issued on Saturday by U.S. President Donald Trump on Truth Social, in which it was claimed that Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is dead. In the post, it was asserted by Trump that Khamenei was one of the most evil people in history. However, no elaboration on the source of the information was provided. The US and Israel launched the most ambitious attack on Iran in decades. Israel said Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei had been killed in the operation. A senior Israeli official told news agency Reuters that Khamenei's body had been found. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump also said that he believes Khamenei is dead. President Trump and US Secretary of State Marco Rubio monitored the military operation in Iran from Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence in Palm Beach, Florida. Vice President J.D. Vance monitored the developments from the Situation Room at the White House. The U.S. military has released images showing warships and planes launching strikes during the military operation believed to have killed Iran's supreme leader. Meanwhile, Iran called the strikes unprovoked and illegal. Tehran retaliated with missiles fired at Israel and at least 7 other countries, including Gulf states that host U.S. bases. The Israeli military said 7 senior Iranian officials, including the head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, General Mohammad Pakpour, and Ali Shamkhani, senior advisor to Iran's supreme leader, were also killed in the Israeli strikes. Now, after U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran and retaliatory attacks by Tehran, United Nations Security Council held an emergency meeting. UN Chief Antonio Guterres has warned that military action in West Asia risks triggering uncontrollable consequences in the region.
A grave threat to international peace and security. Military action carries the risk of igniting a chain of events that no one can control in the most volatile region of the world. Let me be clear. There is no viable alternative to the peaceful settlement of international disputes.
All right, joining me is my colleague Akhilesh Suman for more. Akhilesh, we've seen a couple of statements coming out from both Israel and the U.S. suggesting that Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is dead. While Netanyahu was circumspect, ambiguous, Trump is categorical. He says Khamenei is dead. What do you make of these statements? And also talk to us a bit, if you will, about the circumstances leading up to Khamenei's reported killing.
Actually, Ramesh, we were waiting for a long time because when Netanyahu had given a statement, a video message, that there are signs that Ali Khamenei is no more, he has been killed. And then we also got news that through sources from Israeli intelligence sources that Khamenei's dead body has been found. That means that Israelis were getting intelligence inputs from Iranian side all over that, what is happening there. And finally at 3:07 hours in the morning, U.S. President Donald Trump declared on his Truth Social that Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has been killed. Khamenei could not avoid the tracking system of America, and in that way he told him the biggest evil in the history. Other than that, he also called upon the IRGC forces and other police forces of Iran to surrender, to lay down arms and integrate with the patriotic forces of Iran after the leadership change. He also said that people should come forward to take power, and he also hinted that he had chosen the leadership. He has identified the leadership who will be the leader. And lastly, he said that the war will continue, attack will continue. That means he is giving the hint that till the leadership of Iran surrenders completely and declares that Khamenei is no more and there is no Islamic regime in Iran, till that time attack will continue. So I think it's a big statement for Donald Trump. Donald Trump, who has been when he took power this time, from that time he was against Iran. He cancelled the JCPO, that agreement between Iran and Western countries, and also America was part of it. He cancelled from American side. He withdrew and he put more sanctions against Iran on the nuclear issue. And last statement that has come from US side, from Donald Trump's side, that Iran should give all the enriched uranium to US. He should not have any enrichment facility inside Iran, and Iran was not ready. And then today morning, as we saw that there was attack from Israeli side, and then in the first, and then Donald Trump himself declared that it is a coordinated strike of Israel and America both. So from that point of time, it was clear that it will be fierce fight today the whole day, and Iranians also retaliated naturally, as they had declared earlier that if there is an attack on us, we will attack the American bases around us in the Gulf region, and Iran is doing, still Iran is attacking over some US bases in the Gulf region and also inside Israel. But now the big question, billion-dollar question is that what the present leadership is doing, who is the present leader, because you know that the Iranian president is not visible, though Iranian foreign ministry has made a statement a few hours earlier that Pezeshkian, the Iranian president, is taking care and he is running the government, he is giving the directions, but we have not seen any statement from Pezeshkian. So maybe he is at undisclosed location and he is not speaking, he is not giving any message from his side, and he is just coordinating the whole war effort against Israel and US strike. So now it is a question that who will be the leader, what will be the situation of Israel. Only foreign minister has been speaking on this from the Iranian side, and now after the Truth Social came from Donald Trump, there is no statement from Iranian side. So we are just waiting that whether there is a statement coming from Iranian side or not, because in the whole day Iran was telling, Iranian foreign ministry was telling that Khamenei is healthy, Khamenei is well, he will make a statement. But now after Donald Trump declaration that Khamenei is no more, we are expecting that some statement, either contradictory or confirming statement, should come from Iranian side. Everyone is waiting, but in between we are hearing that in Tehran many people have come out on roads celebrating this occasion. So let us watch and see that what statement comes from Iran, whether Iran confirms it or whether Iran contradicts. If Iran contradicts, they will have to show the picture, they will have to give the video message of Khamenei. Otherwise, there will be great disappointment in Iranian forces, IRGC, who is fighting and launching against American and Israeli establishments.
Akhilesh, as you rightly say, there's no evidence yet suggesting either that Khamenei is dead or he is alive. But the fact remains that we have heard from both Israel and the US making their statements or making their claims, suggesting that he is indeed no more. But that said, talk to us a bit, if you will, about the implications of this going forward. What will or what is Iran likely to do now? Will it appoint a new successor if it is true that Khamenei is dead and simply move on from here? Or will it choose to retaliate, take revenge and avenge Khamenei's death? In other words, will it harden Iran's stance going forward?
We have seen, Ramesh, we have seen that Iran is a very tough nation. Iran is a very self-respecting nation. They are proud people, and they have been, at least the Islamic regime has been always been telling death to America. So what I hope that President Pezeshkian is already there, he will be guiding, and in between if the war continues, there may be symbolic some Ayatollah may be appointed. It is let us keep the fingers crossed whether they decide to appoint a Khamenei or not, because if they appoint someone and if again there is an attack, because I think American Israelis intelligence is quite strong, and that is how they have tracked Khamenei, who might be in the meeting with top leadership of Iran at the time when the attack took place. There are many people who are telling that in the morning when Israeli American forces attacked on the compound of Khamenei, that time he was in a meeting, and in that meeting only he might have been attacked, and many other his advisors, IRGC chief and many other top leadership and commanders were in the meeting, and they might have been eliminated in that point of time only. They might have been injured in the beginning and they might have died after some time. So these are the issues that we have to keep a watch whether Khamenei will be there will be a successor of Khamenei or not. But I think that leadership crisis will be there. So they will not allow leadership crisis to take place, and maybe the president, because if you remember, Khamenei himself was president of Iran once upon a time, and after that he became Khamenei. So maybe Pezeshkian be elevated as Khamenei, and he will guide Iranian operations all over the Gulf and in this situation of war, because electing Khamenei will be a tough process at this point of time, and whether there is already any successor, it is also not very clear. So there are chances that Pezeshkian may be elevated in this point of time, and he will guide the things. But that it all depends that how fierce attack will take place from American-Israeli side and how Iranians, but what I feel that Iranians will not stop the war. They will keep attacking on American bases more desperately than they were doing now. They will not surrender so easily. So I think the war may continue for some time more, Ramesh.
And finally, Akhilesh, talking about New Delhi and how New Delhi is viewing this situation. What are India's stakes really in that part of the world, given the fact that India enjoys close ties with both Iran and Israel? We've seen Minister Jaishankar speak to his counterparts in both Israel and Iran and other Gulf countries as well. We've heard reports about how Indians are stranded in some airports in the region. Flights have been disrupted. So how is New Delhi viewing these developments?
New Delhi is very cautious, and New Delhi has, India has big stakes in this whole region. Millions of people are there, are working in all that region, either UAE, Saudi Arab, or in all Gulf countries, Indian people are working. They are helping the development of that countries, both as engineers, as also as teachers, and also as skilled laborers. So India has to safeguard the interest of our people in that region. The second thing that India also has to safeguard our economic interest in the whole region, because we have a very strong relationship with all the Gulf countries. We have oil and gas supply from those countries. So India has to do very balancing act. And the third thing, that Iran also has been very good friend of India. Iranian people, we have a very good cultural relation with Iranian people. So India has always been with Iran. India has always been with Iranians. And India, that is why, the statement has come from External Affairs Ministry in the afternoon that, there should be no civilian casualty. Civilians should be, safeguarded. And also India said that dialogue and diplomacy should take place. So I think India is sticking on this thing that dialogue and diplomacy in whatever be the situation, save the civilians and process of dialogue continue. So India is in that way very balanced because it is not our war. We were not, India was never in that war. India has always been telling that there is no era of war anytime. So in that situation, I think India is very cautious. India is trading very cautiously, and we have to safeguard our interest in the whole region.
All right, Akhilesh, we leave it there. Akhilesh Suman, my colleague, reporting there on the latest developments in the US-Israeli strikes on Iran. Moving on, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar on Saturday held separate conversations with the foreign ministers of Iran and Israel, conveying India's deep concern over the escalating situation in the region and reiterating New Delhi's call for restraint and diplomacy. In a post on social media platform X, Minister Jaishankar wrote, and I quote, "Spoke with Israeli FM Gideon Saar this afternoon, reiterate India's call for dialogue and diplomacy to de-escalate tensions." The minister also held a telephonic conversation with Iranian Foreign Minister Syed Abbas Araghchi this evening. In a post on X, he wrote, and again I quote, "Had a telecon with Iranian FM Syed Abbas Araghchi this evening, shared India's deep concern at the recent developments in Iran and the region." He also spoke with UAE Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, focusing on the evolving situation in the Gulf. He wrote on X, discussed the evolving situation in the Gulf with UAE Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan this evening. India is concerned with the escalating situation, appreciate his commitment to the welfare of the Indian community. And Minister Jaishankar engaged with several Gulf leaders as tensions in the region continue to escalate. He spoke with Saudi Arabia's Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud, Kuwait's Foreign Minister Sheikh Jarrah Jaber Al Ahmad Al Sabah, Bahrain's Foreign Minister Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid Al Zayani, and Qatar's Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Bil Jassim Al Thani. In these discussions, he underlined India's concern over the unfolding situation in the Gulf, stressing the importance of regional peace and stability. He also highlighted India's stakes in safeguarding the welfare of the large Indian community across these countries. All four leaders assured Minister Jaishankar of their government's commitment to the safety and well-being of Indian nationals. Meanwhile, India on Saturday voiced deep concern over the recent developments in Iran and the Gulf region, calling for restrained and renewed efforts towards a dialogue. In a statement, India's External Affairs Ministry urged all sides to avoid escalation and prioritize the safety of civilians. It emphasized that diplomacy must be pursued to de-escalate tensions and address underlying issues, while reiterating that the sovereignty and territorial integrity of all states must be respected. The ministry highlighted that Indian missions in the region are actively monitoring the situation. They remain in close touch with Indian nationals and have issued advisories urging them to stay vigilant, maintain contact with the missions, and follow local security guidance. Owing to airspace restrictions over Iran and parts of West Asia, 410 flights of domestic carriers were cancelled on 28th February and 444 flights expected to be cancelled on the 1st of March. The DGCA is maintaining close coordination with airlines to ensure full compliance with safety and operational regulations. Passengers are advised to check and confirm their flight status with the respective airlines before proceeding to the airport. Major airports remain on operational alert to manage potential diversions and ensure seamless passenger facilitation. The ministry's Passenger Assistance Control Room continues to closely monitor passenger concerns and facilitate prompt redressal. In other news, India takes a giant leap in its tech journey. Prime Minister Modi on Saturday inaugurated Micron's ATMP facility at Sanand in Gujarat, marking the start of commercial production. Calling it a historic milestone, the Prime Minister said semiconductors are the backbone of the AI revolution. While oil defined the 20th century, microchips will power the 21st. DD India's Meghna Dev reports.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the Micron ATMP facility in Sanand, Gujarat, marking the start of commercial production and a major milestone in India's technology journey. Calling it a historic moment, the Prime Minister said that after showcasing India's AI strength at the recent summit, the nation is now proving its commitment to global technology leadership. He emphasized that India is moving beyond software and IT services, rapidly building its identity in semiconductor manufacturing.
माइक्रोन की डी रैम और नेट सॉल्यूशंस दुनिया भर के डेटा सेंटर्स, एआई एप्लीकेशंस, मोबाइल डिवाइसेस और एडवांस कंप्यूटिंग सिस्टम को शक्ति देती है। अब ये यही इसी सानंद की धरती पर बनेंगे। यहां एडवांस वेफर्स को हाई क्वालिटी मेमोरी और स्टोरेज प्रोडक्ट्स में बदला जाएगा। इस प्लांट में अभी सैकड़ों लोगों को रोजगार मिला है। आने वाले समय में इसमें और अधिक विस्तार होगा।
highlighting the project's swift progress from the MOU in 2023 to commercial production in 2026. Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said that the journey from foundation to production just took 900 days to complete.
जून 2023 में माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कैबिनेट में अप्रूवल दिया। सितंबर 2023 में इस प्लांट की फाउंडेशन हुई और आज फरवरी 2026 में प्रोडक्शन स्टार्ट हो रहा है। 900 दिन में फाउंडेशन से प्रोडक्शन। मोदी है तो मुमकिन है।
Micron CEO Sanjay Malhotra described the project's massive structure and said that it was executed with strong intent.
This is a historic moment for India, for Micron technology. Micron technology is a global leader in memory and storage semiconductor technology, and that is today at the heart of AI. Micron here is now bringing that leading edge memory production to India.
Prime Minister described semiconductors as the backbone of the AI revolution, stating that while oil shaped the 20th century, microchips will define the 21st. Under the Semicon India program, multiple projects are underway across the country, building a pan-India semiconductor ecosystem. Meghna Dev's report for DD India.
And that's all for this edition of DD India Live. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code to download it. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. From all of us here in New Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.